last guided reading this week based on the Bright oil spill. Going to be bringing it to a close. So let's have a read of the text, look at the 4 questions you've got, and then you can get on with it all. Not a trace of oil remained. The sea's surf had scoured clean each pebble and shell. Its tides had dragged the black slime deep into its digestion, and its tide rips had shredded the slick into infinitesimal smallness. Fish shoals had come back. Birds had nested on the cliffs. A profusion of shellfish were busy muscling each other off the shining rocks. The oil, prehistoric product of 1,000,000 acres of primeval forest, had become once again harmless vegetable matter, harmless as dead leaves in autumn crumbling into mulch. The sea had proved so full of life that though it had drunk poison, it had failed to die. And what it now provides us with is actually a summary about this as a fact. So, the Bright oil tanker was stranded at Garth's Nest in the Shetlands on the 5th of January 1993. Science fully expected the oil spill to do lasting damage, but all the gloomy predictions were proved wrong by the phenomenon of the self-cleansing sea. This does not mean that the sea, however, can digest every amount of pollution. So, something to think about there with our idea of sustainable development in the topic this term. But your questions, your retrieval. What had the sea's surf and sea's tide managed to do? So you're going to have 2 elements here to this answer, because it's what had the sea's surf and the sea's tide managed to do. But retrieval, you know the key is going to be within this. You use the keywords in the question to help you find. Your vocabulary. What do the words infinitesimal and profusion mean? So again, you might have a rough idea on one of the words, but use dictionaries to help you. We're allowing you this option, so that's going to ensure your answer is spot on what it needs to be. And your inference. The sea had proved so full of life that though it had drunk poison, it had failed to die. That's an exact quote from here at the end. What is the actual meaning behind that sentence? So what does that phrase mean? The sea had proved so full of life, but though it had drunk poison, it failed to die. Well, was the sea ever going to die? Or has it got a reference that links with the oil spill somehow? So you need to look at the text, bring in that into your answer, and obviously make sure your explanation is clear. And then your extension. This last paragraph summarises all you have read about the oil spill. However, what is the message it is getting across in the last sentence? So that last sentence, this does not mean that the sea can digest every amount of pollution. So what does it mean by that? Think about what's happened here in this Briar oil spill and how that might differ to what that last sentence is inferring. Okay, and this is obviously an explanation, partly maybe summarising your own ideas, but you need to explain clearly using reasoning and evidence. Okay, if the question ever says that, you must use it. This is obviously rounds it off quite nicely for this week. We'll look at these elements of this at 11:30. Any questions you have in the meantime, make sure you get in touch with Mrs. Williams. All right. Okay. Speak to you soon.